I have a.
Welcome everyone to a new episode of the Real Cannabis Talk. Today we got a special guest. His name is Dan. His handle is Ozmo, and we also have Blue Sky on the line with us today too, and myself. So we're gonna have some fun, and we just want to kind of open it up with just an introduction. Dan, you there?
Yes, sir.
Good morning, my friend.
Do y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Morning.
Good morning. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and why pick this podcast? What's your interest to be here with us today?
All right. Well, I kind of got the how I want to do this, and I want to explain who I am, where I come from, my resume, who the world knows me as me, and me as the world who's never seen me. And
Come on.
Tell the world my story. And I have a bunch of questions to ask, a bunch of knowledge to pass on, and then I'm gonna shake the world over.
Let's do it.
Hang on.
Come on, baby.
I'm intrigued already.
So tell us.
All right. So me, I'm in my mid-60s. Yep. Currently, the world knows me as I'm a retired computer guru that was a bigwig in the computer industry. I retired at the age of 38 years old. I live on a lake. I do whatever I want. I have no worries. I don't care about who does what, who says what. I just do me. That's the world that knows me.
Amen.
The world that doesn't know me is, I'll start this subject when I was 16 years old. Back in the day, at the very beginning of the 1980s. Yep, I guess when the disco stuff was going on, no cell phones, no internet, and absolutely no legal cannabis.
Did we have pagers yet?
Pardon?
Did we have pagers yet? Remember that day?
Oh, absolutely not.
No pagers either. Oh, okay, so now we got a good idea of the time frame.
Yep, no pagers. Yep, we had that long phone cord on the wall that if you wanted to talk to somebody, you had to be home.
That's it. I remember. Pretty much 6 for me.
So I'm in high school. I'm the long-haired hippie guy wearing bell bottoms and the leather jacket, smoking the chronic, and having fun. That's me. I move out on a farm in the middle of the outskirts of town. I'm from a big city. Get on the outskirts of town on some big property. Get a dirt bike out having fun riding. Meet up an old boy up on the property that's riding a dirt bike. Cool. Become friends. Happens to be my next door neighbor. He's got a bunch of property that equals right next door to mine, and we're having fun. This guy's twice my age. He's early 40s, late 30s. I'm 16. So that's our relationship. We're smoking and riding bikes. He calls me one Friday night. He's a truck driver. Says, dude, I got problems. I need help. I thought he's broke down on the side of the road, need to go help him. He says, I got a huge patch of pot out in the woods. I've got a big storm coming in, and I need you to help. All right, tell me what you need to do. I'll do whatever. He told me what to do. I go out there, work all night in the rain, take care of his stuff. He comes back, was happy as can. I earned his trust. So I am now his gopher boy, doing whatever he wants me to do. So I'm doing it. Happy as can. We go through harvest, trimming, curing, the whole spiel. He calls up, says, oh, it's all dried up. Come over, let's have fun. So I come over, let's just smoking up, having a good time. He says, here, this is yours for helping. Gives me 6 trash bags of dry bud.
Jesus.
At 16 years old.
Oh, in the 80s too, by the way, because that's that's shitload of weed.
That kid that Yes. And from a kid that didn't know anything about growing anything. And here you go. So I thought, man, that changed my whole life from that point on. All right. So then he says, well, now you got some money, now you got shit, buy the equipment, and I'll show you how to do it indoors. Oh, absolutely.
Really?
But I didn't know that. Yes. But I did not know that he already had his whole freaking basement already going. So I just didn't know that. So
Wow.
that started that process as far as that.
He must have been one of the original.
That is how I learned.
As far as I'm concerned, in the 80s, in the early 80s, there was not a lot of indoor. There were some
Nope.
pioneers that were doing it.
Yep.
Other
Yep.
than that, there was no indoor. It was outdoor and like you said, jungle weed. Hiding your stuff as best you can, and then it started to come indoor when all in the 90s really. But that's interesting. Or late 80s, 90s, right? So keep going. I love this content. You're killing it.
Yeah, I love
All
this
right.
story. Carry on, bro.
All right. Well, that started me learning indoors. All right. That gentleman taught me everything I know. And he set my standards and he introduced me to High Times. I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing since sliced bread. A magazine that's showing you people growing pot in the Netherlands. Oh my goodness, that was like gold. I've been a High Times subscriber since 16 years old. I have every issue from the beginning, every collector's issue, every special issue, autographed issues, shit that people could wish they could have. I have all of it.
Wow. Wow.
Awesome.
I I remember back in the day when like what magazines were popular, right? So there was surfer magazines and bodyboarding magazines, and those are the popular and the bodybuilding magazines. There was but it was all about magazines at the time. And then finally, High Times came, and I remember
Yep.
that's keep going, bro. I'm loving this.
Well, that started my career as far as growing. All right, now I from that day have been nothing but 100,000% dedicated to that, like no other. And I've never met in my whole life anyone like me.
Wow, wow. I'm impressed. I had no idea that I was about to talk to this person right now. Keep going.
Oh, I just got started. I'm just getting started. You guys ain't heard shit yet.
Keep going, baby. This is awesome, bro.
So, all those old Cincy catalogs, I still have all of those.
Awesome.
Wow, dude. I freaking went to Canada when I was six. I must have been 18. I had to be 18 because I don't think I could have gotten over the border not being that. But I got my first Scentsy catalog from them and purchased my first seeds from them. So, and it was only place you could buy seeds at the time was literally in freaking Canada or Amsterdam. And you can only,
Yep.
And so funny. Keep going. I'm sorry, man. I hate interrupting you, but you have such an awesome story.
All right. Well, so this gentleman set my standards, taught me how to grow. I mean, we were friends. We probably, I would say, maybe 2 years, and then moving, and life happening. We separated, and I've never seen or heard from that man since. So I've been pretty much on my own my whole life. But in my dedication at 17 years old, I mean, I was already out of high school. I mean, I got kicked out of junior high for smoking weed in seventh grade. I got kicked out in eighth grade for fighting. So by the time high school come along, I didn't even want to mess with it. So 17 years old, I says, well, if I'm gonna do this group stuff right, back in the day, you couldn't freaking hire electricians and HVAC guys. So I went to a vocational school, got electrical certified and HVAC certified, and I've been doing my own my whole life.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow, bro. So impressive.
Yep. And every house, every place I've lived, in my whole life I've grown. I lived
Nice.
across the I lived across the street from the city cop in my city. And he was the only canine cop in my
Oh.
city. And I lived across the street from him for 9 years, and nobody had a damn clue about nothing.
Nice.
Wow.
And the world, and ain't nobody. You guys, these people in in today's society, you have no idea.
Yeah, seriously.
Not be able to tell nobody.
No, it's a whole nother world back then. It's 16, 17 years old, just watching, just even thinking about growing. I mean, indoor, even having the concept of growing indoor yet was, I mean, the only reason I think most people had a concept of it is because they saw some people on High Times doing it. And that's kind of when, the old school Phototron was coming out for the average grower. And there was this whole movement of moving indoor eventually. And so this is such a trip to hear that, because true to me, you're what I call an OG, an original gangster in a sense. You know what I mean? One of those guys that not a gangster in a bad way, but just one of those guys that were like the people who pushed the the community forward, really. So tell us what happened at 17. You got your first grow going, and
What were you growing? What variety do you know?
yeah, exactly.
Oh man, I've grown them all. Everything out of all the big bud skunks, the regular skunks, to all of it. I've done them all. Every bit of it.
Did you ever by chance run into the roadkill skunk?
Oh yeah, the big bud skunk, the road. Oh my goodness.
Oh no,
That
not Big Bud, not Big Bud. That was on the Sensi magazines. It's funny you say Big Bud because I purchased, that was my first seed that I ever purchased, was Big Bud.
well, I don't know. There's
There's
stuff.
different big buds.
Yeah,
Well, stuff is kind of weird. I don't know. This stuff was the road. I mean, dude, I live where I live. Skunks are everywhere. I mean, you guys were talking yet on the last podcast about the skunk, and I was just going to the store yesterday, and there was one on the side of the road, and I was like, oh yeah. That for me where I'm at is commonplace. I mean, just a month or beginning of spring, I had a baby skunk on my front porch because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I live on the lakes in the middle of nowhere. It takes me 35 minutes just to get to Walmart. So,
me
the
too.
skunk on my front, huh?
Me too. That's where I'm at right now in life too. I love it, bro. I feel like I'm living
Yeah.
a parallel universe with you.
So that here, so I'll kind of go through my grow history here a little bit, and so I'm 17 and I'm just going through grow. All right, and for me, I mean, I'm the only standards I have is from what I taught and from what I've seen in high times. All right, so me, the only recognition I could get was me giving high times my pictures, my shit, sending them my pictures. And then when I got that magazine in, and if they put my shit in that magazine, then I knew I was doing good. My shit's been in the High Times magazine over and over and over.
Are you serious?
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Over again, all throughout the years, man.
Wow. I'm so freaking curious which ones got posted because I was a fanatic, dude. Every freaking high
You know,
time magazine I would get. So I pretty much
we
memorized
can
all
sit
their
we
blue.
can sit down we can sit down and go through every one of those issues in mint fucking condition, and I can show you all of it.
Holy shit. Wow. I'm so curious. Keep
Well, I
curious.
don't think the motherfuckers want to put me in their magazine. They seem to be part of the conspiracy of silence, I reckon.
Well, no, Blue Skies, I got something for you at the end of this. We're gonna just yeah. Well, I'm not done yet. So all right. So yeah, I haven't even gotten started yet, bro. We're this right here, this podcast right here is a game changer. This is gonna change the world of cannabis
I
as
fucking love it.
everyone knows it.
Well, take the floor, my friend.
Everyone out there will, yeah. I'm just saying. All right. So let's go back to that. I'm growing. All right. So I'm doing the same exact thing, nothing different throughout my whole life. I was taught if you're going to grow indoors and you're going to risk the risk to do it, you got two achieve these things. You got to grow the best you can and as much as you can in the space that you have, or it is absolutely a waste of time to do so.
That's so true.
That is exactly how I was taught. And anything less than that, don't even mess with it.
100%.
So, yep. And so I go through that, and I'm doing that through my whole life. I never break my cardinal rule. I've never had. My kids were 5. I had a whole house full of them everywhere. Those things are cool. Now, I never grew herbage in them because, I mean, the way I grow, that's anyway. But those things were off. So I'm still growing. 2012. Well, let me back up just a little bit. I just want to state, you guys were talking on the other podcast about the white widow.
Yep. White widow, white rhino. Yep.
White Russian.
White widow. Well, that was the last gear I ran before I had to stop growing. I acquired those genetics in 1999, and I ran that genetics up until 2012. That stuff was and has been and still is at this time the best that I've ever smoked.
Yeah.
I've not smoked.
Totally.
Now, I don't know, you know what, but this is, I'll tell you my experience with it. All right, I acquired the genetics, and I had it for, I'd say probably a good maybe a year or two before I got to run it. All right, so I finally ran it, and that stuff came out such honker buds. Every one of my clones averaged a half-pound bud per clone, as the main bola, and yeah, then then the whole flood table full of clones. Well, yeah, there you go.
Wow.
And each bud was just completely covered in frost. I mean, I was just like flabbergasted. So I go and cure it, and I get it all out, and I'm just anxious as shit to try this stuff out. I throw a bong full in. I hit that thing. That stuff gets me so coma that I hit the bathroom and puke, just like somebody did freaking needle shit back in the heroin days. And then I sit on the couch for 45 minutes, wondering what the fuck happened to me.
Yeah. Got couch locked.
I have not had anything ever do that to me since before. Yeah. So
I've been fortunate enough to smoke White Widow that was actually grown by Shanti himself, so I know how good it is.
It is definitely the classics, man. Those are you can't even mess with them. You don't want to change them. You just want to preserve them.
Yep. So all the way up till 2012. Yep. And my kids are grown at that time. My kids now are in their 30s, and I got grandkids. That's where I'm at currently. But 2012, I break my cardinal rule that I followed my whole life, and I showed somebody my grow. Yep. And guess what? It was used against me, and I got raped.
Damn.
So
fucking went. Oh no.
So, but I was not growing anything, and so when they raided me, they no herbage, no nothing. The only thing they did, which I could have fought for, but they did take my equipment, and I got charged with public nuisance, and it all went away. No felon, no nothing, no big deal, whatever. It all went away. But I did have to go through it all, and whatever. I had to do all that. So I did not grow from 2012 till I just got my medical license at the beginning of this year. And that's kind of pretty much it. As far as my history.
Got it. Wow. A true OG,
Yeah, man.
To me, that's just it's very rare. I always tell people, some of the most interesting conversations are going to come from people that are a little bit older than me. I'm about 47 right now. So the guys that are 50 or I would say more like 60, 65, those are the guys that really are the OGs. Those are the guys that are before the 90s. Those are the guys that really did have nothing but bag seed. And if you did have anything outside of bag seed, it was from Canada or somewhere like that, and it was rare to get it. And so this is just such an interesting conversation. So what
And
happens
can
now?
I just ask? I got a question. Were you part of like the earlier forums, like Overgrow and stuff? And did you ever bump into Old Timer One? Because you must have basically been kind of what's the word? The word's gone out of my head. But you were around at the same time.
Yeah, I was around at the same time, but nope, I did not do the forums. I did not reach out to do anything in regards to that on breaking the cardinal rule.
Uh-huh.
Well, that was the most important thing, and I just, yeah, I couldn't deviate from that.
It was a different world back then. You couldn't show your best friend your garden.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
oh no, I mean, as far as the world knew is, oh man, Dan always had the chronic. Where the fuck did you get that? That was it.
Yep, I bought it from a homie.
Yep, man, I got this old boy over here, man. Here, check this shit out.
Yep.
I mean, it's depressing and it's sad that you can't do anything. I mean, yeah. And
So,
then and
sorry, I
then
was
I
going to
see
ask
what
you. So,
you
did you also get to smoke all the different varieties that were coming in from outside of America at that time when you were younger, or was it just you only smoked what you grew?
No, everything I smoked and everything I grew, everything come from the Netherlands.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, because you were um, 16 at that time, was there anything like Colombian or anything like that you were smoking? Or was it
Oh
just you
yes.
purely only ever smoked what you grew yourself?
No, the Colombian. Oh yeah, we had all that. Oh yeah, the golds and yeah, oh yeah,
Because I was just
all
thinking, you've seen everything, haven't you? You've been around from the start, and you're here now, so you've seen, experienced changes and everything from the start. So you've just
Yep.
seen a lot. So I was just wondering what you thought about your pot experiences back at that time with like Colombian or maybe any decent Mexican, or was there any
Yep.
import hash and things like that?
Yep. With all the different Mexican stuffs coming through, and yep, everything that you heard about growing up and everything through the high times, yep, all filtered through, and yep, got to try it all and enjoy it. And I always enjoyed growing more than getting whatever came across the border or whatever, the Mexican stuff, and I just pretty much stuck with that. And all my friends and stuff, the people I grew up with all peddled that stuff, so I didn't mess with that. I was just worried about my chronic.
So what happens after 2020 or 2012?
Okay, well, 2012, I pretty much was between 2012 until I get my medical license. I pretty much bored. I decided, well, I got an outside garden in dirt, and I had greenhouses out there, and I did my vegetable garden, whatever. I'm getting old, and I had some health issues, had to go through some surgeries and whatnot, and I just hated the weed eating. So I thought, man, I'm not growing no more. I want to do hydroponics outside and see what I can do. So I built hydroponics all throughout my yard. I wanted to see what this stuff could do. I put this over there. I had my watermelon patch on this kind. I had my cantaloupes over here. I had this, that. I did my whole yard, and I just wanted to test it. And that shit just went crazy. I had neighbors coming over fighting for a head of lettuce, giving me $10 just for a head of lettuce. It was just nuts.
Wow.
So I thought, well, I'm not growing in dirt no more outside. So I built a big old greenhouse, and I'm in the process of filling it with the hydro and doing some pretty crazy stuff like I do on my greens and my lettuce. I out of a 14 by 14 area, I can grow 900 heads of lettuce every 30 days like clockwork.
Holy mackerel. With the power of the sun and a hydroponic system, holy
Mhm.
crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do everything hydro. I don't restrict my plants. I don't. Yeah. And so we're gonna get into that right now. We're gonna do some Grow 101. All right, y'all heard my history. Y'all okay? Now I'm gonna show you what I know. I'm gonna answer your guys' problems that you guys are having growing right now, and I'm gonna show you what y'all doing wrong and what you could do better. And then I'm really gonna shake things up and make everybody go, "Oh fuck."
Let's do it. Come on, bring it, baby.
All right, well, the growing 101. I just have questions because I pop up at a scene. Even during the whole legal portion of things, me over here, I did not push myself in there to want to know what's going on. Me being in a state at the time to where it wasn't legal, I didn't want to move to where somewhere was legal just so I could grow because I'm established. I got my, I'm retired. Everything I had bought, paid for, and I'm happy. Leave me alone. Uh, but so I did not want to tease myself with wanting to know what everybody's doing and not being able to do it. So I pushed that out of my brain until my state got legal at the beginning of this year, and I thought, well, I'm gonna do it, and here I am, and now it's lit a fire into my ass. You guys don't know me from nobody. Nobody on the internet knows me from nothing. I've never talked to nobody about nothing. I show up on Instagram 2 weeks ago
Oh, really?
and post a picture of a plant of my clone that's 6 inches tall. That's the first thing anybody's ever seen anything about. All right, and then I get these keyboard warriors coming out of the freaking woodworks of, oh my gosh, he's a 2x2 went freaking tent warrior who thinks he's an expert.
Oh, yeah.
I can say all these youngins out there that show no respect, well, these big dogs are going to make you. That's all I got.
So you joined Instagram 2 weeks ago. How did you come across our accounts?
On Instagram, you
Yeah.
guys doing it? Yep. And if it wasn't for Old School and you, Blue Sky, if it wasn't for you two, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be getting ready to say what I'm getting ready to do and getting ready to do anything I'm getting ready to do. I wouldn't do any of it.
Oh, that's
Just to
awesome.
let you guys know. Okay. All right. So let's do a little bit of Grow 101. Let me showcase my freaking talents here and answer you guys' questions. And maybe, I don't know. Have you guys seen my Instagram post that I posted yesterday?
I'm going to take a look now because you know my account went down yesterday. I started a new account yesterday, so I'm a little like not fully up to speed with everybody's most current Instagram, and I've just started my own forum as well, so I've been spending a little time there. So no, what was your pictures yesterday?
Well, I've only posted just a couple pictures. The first picture I posted was my clone that I put on, and that's it. I just wanted to put something on Instagram to show that I was there. All right. Well, yesterday I posted the picture of that same clone, 2 weeks old.
Oh, I did see that. That was phenomenal. Yes, I did see that. Of course.
That's what I do in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't know what y'all doing out there, but I'll show you how to do it if you want.
Oh, no, that's a beauty. I'm looking at it right now.
Let me see if I can find it. So everything's
Yeah.
Those plants are vegged for 5 days.
Holy shit. Super growth. I've seen plants like that before. I've grown plants like that before. But I've had this one experience, this one plant. I don't know if it was the genetics on the plant or if it was just the soil was perfect or the environment or what it was, but I had never seen growth on a plant like that particular one ever, and I haven't seen it since. And again, I think that there was just something magical happening in the menu somehow. All the ingredients something was going on. So I'm very interested to hear what you're about to say on how to get plants to grow that fast, because it really, I mean, I'm looking at your plants right now. Now there's a couple different pictures, right? So you got the bigger plants, and then you have some babies here.
Those are all the same plants.
Oh, okay. So you go from the babies, or so how old are these youngins on here?
That's a clone. That's small.
That's
That
one
very
single
first,
clone and 2 weeks of growth.
that's one single clone that just got rooted, and I slapped in the system and said, "Let's go." That's what my clones look like.
Yeah, that is great growth in 2 weeks for sure. No doubt. So how do you do it then, Dan? What's your special techniques and methods, and how do you manage to achieve that growth?
Well, here. All right. Well, now that podcast that Old School did with the Lotus guy, he had mentioned that he doesn't think about the master grower. There's no such thing as a master grower because you're always learning. Well, there could be nothing further from the truth.
Interesting.
Nothing further from the truth, because now this is the 3 stipulations of growth. I'm going to change it all. I'm going to tell you people in common freaking sense and make it so easy for you that hopefully you all wake up. Okay, the 3 things for growing in the perfect environment. Okay, the light, the air conditioning, and the heat, the humidity. That's it. There's 3 things: light, air conditioning, humidity. My room stays.
Dan,
Yes, sir.
I was just thinking from a listener's perspective, it would be a good idea for me to interject and tell everybody listening right now to check out what you're actually referring to here, and go to Instagram and check out Ozmo Labs, Dan, and then you can look at how phenomenal that growth rate is of that clone in 2 weeks, and then you can see what we're talking about and hear how Dan does it. Sorry, Dan, carry on.
Yes, sir. All right. So there's 3 things on growing indoors. This is what I was taught from day one, and I'm going to tell you all: the environment, light, air conditioning, humidity. All right, you take care of that. All right, you give them the environment to grow in. My plants under the freaking canopy at the leaves is 81 degrees. Period. Never deviates. On the hottest freaking days in the summer, and my air conditioning might slip, it might go up 2 degrees, might hit 82, 83.4, maybe 84 at the most on certain, yeah, and that'd be it. 84 degrees, 46% humidity from start to finish, nonstop.
Interesting on the humidity thing, because I hear people talk about VPD, and so they try to get their humidity a little higher during the veg and then bring it down as it goes into flower. Is that not a method that you're using? Because it sounds like you're just holding it at 46, which is perfect for me in flower. That's perfect.
Let me answer that. Why would you do that when you only veg for 5 days?
Well, holy shit, didn't even think about it that way.
Okay, now if I'm in a production environment, I don't veg at all.
You don't really need to.
What do you mean? You mean you just go?
I just gave the world my secret right there. In a production environment, I don't veg at all because my shit's set up the way it's supposed to right from the get-go. When I put my clones in there, they go boom, instant freaking buds. My buds are half pound, no, dude. Yep. Anyway,
keep going, brother. Drop the knowledge.
All right. So there's 3 things to growing. You give your plants the environment. All right. Second thing, you give your plants complete unrestricted growth. You give them the ability to do what they do without no restriction, no inhibitors, no nothing. Soil is an inhibitor. Dirt is an inhibitor. Shit, that's an inhibitor. All these people growing in dirt bags, oh my God, the people who taught me would roll over dead. That dirt versus hydroponics was beaten to death in the Netherlands before I learned how to grow. Commercial people growing in dirt today, I have no idea why you're doing it. All right, that's the second thing. Don't give your plants restrictions. Let them do what they do. That's the second thing. Third thing in that process, you give them all the nutrients and all the food that they can use from the start until the finish of their life cycle in that perfect, pristine environment and in that unrestricted, uninhibited growth. When you match those three, you're a master grower and there's nothing else to learn.
You know, I totally hear you. I have a friend or a family member who is doing hydroponics, and they're showing me their way of doing it, and I'm watching how simple it is. You know, it sounds so complicated. Ooh, this, that, you know, and there are definitely theories of taste, right? Breeders that say soil is better for taste. If you're using or hydroponics, you're probably not going to get the taste that you're looking for. Honestly, I haven't really found that to be 100%. I guess it's just how you're doing the hydroponics and what you're using, I guess. But I haven't.
That is the most completely false, freaking falsehood put upon hydroponics in the history of growing. That is further from the truth. I had that from my neighbors. Oh, I heard tomatoes and hydroponics were no good. You're wasting your time. I heard that too. I said, I have never grown tomatoes in hydroponics, so I'm going to find out. Well, guess my tomatoes were the best fucking shit on the market. I sell that shit at the freaking farmer's market, and people beg for more. Next.
Totally, bro. And that's the thing right there, because you get the hippies out here that really, really believe organics is the way. That's it. You know, extracts.
All right. Now listen to this. I'm gonna squash all you dirt fuckers out there real hard, because you can do organics and hydroponics, people. You can be FDA freaking certified from the FDA certified grow organics in hydroponics.
Do you want to tell us more about that?
So now what is the excuse of not growing in hydroponics?
Tell us more about the organics and hydroponics. How you've done that?
That's called aquaponics.
Oh, okay, aquaponics. Yeah. So you're literally talking about the fish method.
I have four 1,200-gallon fish tanks that feed my greenhouse.
Nice.
My greenhouse feeds 2 big old bins of mealworms that I raise. So my greenhouse product feeds my worms. My worms of complete 100% organic that never deviates.
I like it.
This is really interesting stuff. I'm digging this. So keep going, because again, a lot of people believe that you have 2 ways to feed your plants. You're either feeding the soil, which feeds your plants, or you're feeding your plants directly. And they believe that it taints, you know, the taste. They believe, you know, but nobody can deny the growth rate, you know. And I've never heard it exactly put the way you put it. When you said remove the restrictions, I didn't understand this soil could be a restriction. That just wasn't a concept for me until now.
Well, you're talking to an OG grower now, brother.
Hey, brother, teach me the way, man. I'm a student.
I'm just saying that you know, I mean, come on, that's botany 101. That's growing 101 with any plant. It doesn't matter what it is. You give it what it wants to do, what it does. When you as a grower can give it everything it needs to grow and do its thing, then you as a grower have accomplished what you're supposed to do.
Now that's 1,000% facts right there. You give the plant what it wants to be, as healthy as it wants to be, and that's really all your process can be. You're just going to give it what it wants, and support it to do its thing. You're not doing the work; it's doing the work. Really, you just give it the environment to do the work that it can do.
And then when you can duplicate that environment over and over and over and over again, and no matter what setup, no matter what size setup, then you're a master grower.
Now, when I think that the real Iron Lotus meant by that is that you're always growing, you're always learning, is what he meant by that.
I understand that, but I'm telling, what is there to learn when you can give everything it wants? There is nothing more you can do. There's nothing to learn. There's nothing. There's no more you can't do. Once you learn how to give your plants everything it needs to do, nobody can teach me anything about hydroponics. Nobody can teach me anything about, because I know how to grow. That's it. I know how to grow. I mean, there's no method. There's no secret. There's no it. I just know how to grow.
I see what
nobody can teach me any different.
Yeah, no, and you're right. In some ways, there's just not much. There's, once you learn a science, you've learned the science. Now, is there variations of the science? Yeah. Could you modify certain things?
There's no variations to hydroponics. It all does the same. The only variation is the size of the system. All right, DWC is still water. DWC is still water. Drip is still water. Aeroponics is still water. Flood and drain is still water. NFT is still water. I've done every one of them. I mastered every one of them, and I could do it with my eyes closed. It does not matter. Hydroponics is hydroponics. It's just not restricting your plants.
Interesting. Keep going, brother. Listening hard.
So, okay. All right. Now, I went on the internet the other day. I don't know if y'all know this, but I went on the internet and I'm searching through and I see this this guy that goes by Grandmaster Level Growing shit. And he's got this grow and he's freaking telling everybody, and everybody's on there freaking thinking he's doing the shit. And I go on there and tell them otherwise. And Bob Russell feather. I piss people off. And well, I'm here to explain what the fuck y'all doing and why you're doing it and why. Who came up with the bright idea of taking this badass grow setup and taking this badass hydroponic flood table and put fucking dirt bags on top of it? And then grow, and then think that you're actually fucking doing something that's good. That's what I want to know. Who came up with that fucking idea? I want to meet, and then push it on the masses to say this is the right way. Oh my God.
What happens is people believe this theory that God in the world creates the best plants, that humans can't create a better plant than in the natural environment. So why give your plant anything but what it's used to in its own? And in nature, you don't look at soil, the actual soil being a restrictor. However, if you look at plants that are probably grown in nature in water, they grow much faster than you're seeing plants grow in soil. I mean, even nature has its own hydroponics. So really, to be honest with you, I mean, I just don't see that theory adding up. Not yours, theirs.
I mean, I just don't get. I mean, what? I mean, okay, all right. Well, let's get to this Grandmaster level guy. Love the freaking grow room, man. I'm not gonna sit here and make y'all look bad, dude. I'm not here for that, bro. Actually, call me up and freaking let's work. I'll freaking help you out, dude. I mean, but you got this badass freaking flood tables. You got a badass group. You got $300,000 worth of lights, and he's growing freaking pot in bags of dirt on a flood table. I can't turn up in the video. I cannot turn my lights up to 75% because I burn the lights. All right, I'm going to solve all you LED fuckers out there that say I can't grow with LEDs. I'm having problems. I had no idea that was an issue. I mean, I haven't grown for years. When I got my medical license, I just went on there. What's the best lights out there? All these LEDs. Okay, I'll take those. I take those. I throw a freaking shitload of them in a tent and go. I turn them all the way up and go. I don't burn my fucking plants. I don't do what burning. No, there ain't no burning plants. Do you know why your plants do that? Do you know why your plants are reacting to that? It's not because of the light. It's because you're not giving them what they want to freaking grow. You're not fucking let them do what they want. You're restricting them. That is restriction.
I do have a question here then for me, because I did fuck my plants up. So here's what I think. And again, you may have something totally different. So, again, I'm here as a student. But here's my issue I ran into with my LEDs. My first time running LEDs, I was used to HPS, and HPS, you just know you got to pin them to the wall because they're fucking hot. They're pin them to the roof rather because they're super hot. They got to have at least 6 feet fucking room. You don't want to burn and crisp your plants all up. Now, LEDs was for me was a whole different environment. So I thought, oh, LEDs, they're not hot, so you could put them super close to your plants. And well, what I didn't know is that the LEDs were emitting so much light content, so much pushing out so much actual light that putting it so close to the plant actually created what I call stunt plants or squat plants. And the plants were just the spacing between each node was so minute. It was like they weren't even spaces. It was just like the plant became a small plant. I don't know how to say it because I just crushed it with so much light. So then I measured my light. I pulled my lights up, measured how much light was actually hitting the tops of the plants, and then everything, I gained my strength back again in the room, and everything went fine. But so that's what I think people were referring to when they're cooking their plants. Again, you may have a different theory, because I do believe that when you are giving your plants a perfect environment, they're strong so they can take the beating. And if they're not strong, like some people say CO2 is not a good thing. Some people will die, saying that CO2 is the way to go. For me, CO2 is like a natural steroid. So if you're pumping it up, you're giving your plant a perfect, it already has perfect amount of what it needs at 400 ppms for the CO2 for just natural nature is 400 ppms of CO2. But when you pump it up, it does increase the volume. And when it does increase the volume, it increases the production and the health of the plant. And so the plant now it's extra healthy. And because it's extra healthy, it'll probably fight off bugs. It'll probably, if you overfeed it, it'll probably be resistant to overfeeding or much more resistant to overfeeding or under, because it's so healthy. It's going to resist. It's just like a healthy person. And let's just say COVID, a healthy person will probably not get COVID. It's usually the weaker plants or weaker people that'll get, something like that, or a stressed person, or older person or whatever, that has, so in the same kind of content. I'm just curious to see what your thoughts are. I believe what you're saying is hydroponics buffs your plant up like a strong plant, so it can handle the heat. It can handle the even in a heat wave. People sometimes, like when I have my outdoor plants, people are all stressed about, the tops of your plants, they're going to get cooked out there with this 110-degree weather. I go, no, they won't. They just want their roots to be cool. So if you keep the roots nice, the plant can handle the heat. It's not going to freak out. It'll enjoy the heat, but you have to have a healthy, happy environment on the bottom of the plant where the roots are at. I don't know what your opinion is all about that, but I'm interested to hear.
Yep, that's correct. I mean, the top of the plant can freaking stress and yeah, as long as it's getting what it wants. That is the goal of being a grower, is to stress your genetics and stress your growth and let it do its thing. I mean, because all right, just think of it this way. All right, you guys are doing your method, and you guys got these nice setups. All right, and you're doing business. All right, but as a business model, if I can walk in the door and I can double to triple your production, why ain't you doing it the right way?
100,000%. There's no reason. And quite frankly, I'm moving into hydroponics next month.
I could double everything that everybody's doing out there in that bag of dirt and make it look easy. I'd show you, I mean, freaking just 3 easy steps. I mean, do this and bam. It would be worth all you growers out there's time and your trouble, and you will be happy in the long run to sit down and learn fucking hydroponics. It's not. I promise you, it's a lot less difficult than the podcast I watched, where I watched 3 gentlemen sit down for an hour and 45 minutes and write a freaking PhD on the shit they fucking put in their dirt. I thought it was a fucked up thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's so interesting, you know, because I have a family member who's doing hydroponics who just showed me the way, and I looked at his system and I'm like, oh my God, you don't have any bugs, you don't have any issues,
No bug.
you got, and it's easy, really, and you can walk away for a week and not even come back as long as it's all set up. Yep. I'm like, whoa. That's pretty cool. Okay, so show me the way, brother. So he's showing me the way now, and we're gonna build myself an incredible hydroponic system here soon. However, I have another partner who's doing cocoa. Now it's kind of like hydroponics, but it's not exactly hydroponics. So it's kind of like in the middle. It's almost like a buffer. It's not it's a buffer between full hydroponics and the soil, right? So it's like a middle ground. Or people use, but I'm starting to see the light here, and I need people. I'm so glad that you said you can do organics and hydroponic, because people are all about thinking that organics only comes about when using soil. That's just,
and that is a further from the truth. That's totally freaking wrong. I'm sorry, but
I know it's wrong, but it's what we're taught. As a community, it's being taught.
Yep. And that is what's coming next. All right, I'm gonna answer your questions here. I got a couple quick tidbits for you. You and your shipping clones. All right, you're having issues with boxes and all that. I can solve all your issues. Get you a clone machine, clone and a hydro clone machine. All right, when the roots freaking get good in a freaking clone machine, you pop that thing out of that clone machine, you put the roots in a freaking baggie with some paper towels, you wet it, you throw it in a box, and you ship it to somebody. When that person gets it, they can pop it out of that box, they can put it in hydroponics, or they can stick it in dirt. You put it in dirt, give it a couple days to adjust, and go.
Yeah, that's the way I would do it.
That's the way I'm going to start to do it. I think you made a good point there, because you're right. Even just having soil or anything like that, and you're trying to mail that shit, the weight itself. I mean, I'm getting charged $60 to send one clone to somebody, and that's just to send it to them in 2 days, not including the $8 box that I had to use, plus the other stuff and all the tape and everything. I mean, it's like $75 just to send somebody a clone. So
yep. Hey brother, you're welcome. Send me some beans.
Dude, I would be honored if you grew my shit out, bro. That's a given.
I was going to ask you earlier if you had grown any of mine, but as you've only been on Instagram for 2 weeks.
I have no genetics. All my genetics, all my old school stuff, all that was taken from me. All I have been running since I got my medical license was just some stuff off of the seed banks here in the U.S. just so I'd have something to smoke and see what's out there.
Well, we'll have to hook you up some old school beans, man.
So, all right, now this is the next thing that's coming out. All right. I guess the LED thing, we did that. We did the grill thing. I guess the dirt thing. All right. All right. The next thing. This is what I'm here for. This is the statement I gotta make. I want a facility. I want a commercial. I don't care if it's a 3-mile long freaking greenhouse like in the Netherlands full of hydroponics. I don't care if it's a $60 million facility. I don't care if it's 50 of them. I want in this game. I want to start from old genetics. I want to do my game. I want to bring out everything that should have brought out from the old days to be mastered into what could have been today, and have a palette of options and openings like no other.
Yep, it's the Tip Town tickets.
Now, this is me, man. I can run a facility. I can walk in the freaking door, and I can own that shit from day one. I will be freaking top fucking dog on the fucking block and competing with every fucking body from day one. I want what I did not get as a kid. I want front fucking page of High Times. I want the interview of High Times, and I want the Cannabis Cup. Because that's the only thing that I have not achieved on my bucket list.
But unless you're an industry dick rider, that's going to be difficult to achieve.
You think?
What do you think? What have you seen? Well, you've only been following me for 2 weeks, so you've not seen everything that I've had to fucking go through. This industry is full of fucking
somebody out there, some bigwig out there, has got to have some money, got to have a facility, got to have something to put me in to let me show the world of what I was taught and how I do things. Somebody out there's got to freaking want it, dude. If there's absolutely no need for me in this world, I will go back to being retired, fishing on my lake for 5 days a week, smoking my chronic and not giving a fuck, because your guys' pot industry and your genetics will be ruined in 20 years, and you guys will be smoking fucking crap and wondering what happened.
It's already in that state as far as I'm concerned.
Like, oh yeah, it already is. Oh yeah, when
It's
I can
already
look,
there. Fucking hell.
Grow.
Another 20
when
years,
I
I
can
dread
look at
to think,
everybody's
but that's the
grow.
beauty of my genetics. I think they're basically a fresh genetic injection, totally different from the homogenized, inbred, hype times hype, absolute dog shit of today, which is being pushed and peddled as elite by fucking idiots to a fucking audience of kids that don't know any fucking better. Me and fucking OldSchoolChornic, between us, we are the fucking real old school breeders with that fucking pile of genetics that is distinct from fucking all this last 20 years of absolute bullshit. I hate to imagine what the last 20 years has fucking seen. Imagine what the next 20 years would see if it fucking wasn't for us actually having fresh fucking genetics. You know?
Yep. And now listen, if this don't happen, the industry in the future will be bumming. Because the legalization federally is here. It's like, just a matter of month. Short, very period of time. Okay, and then it's really going to go crazy, and everybody's going to flood, and then the genetics are going to be pissed poor, and then the industry's going to suck, and then all those big wigs out there and all that shit, they ain't going to make no money, and they're going to wonder what happened. Okay, all right, now I can force change by putting my ass in a facility and changing the genetics, and then once my shit gets out there, they're going to have to, because they're going to have watered down shit. You're either going to have to go back to the freaking drawing board and put the work in, or you're going to be smoking my fucking shit. Now, Old School and Blue Skies, I heard your last video about, dude, you want a job? Come help me. Let's do it. I'm fucking sure I'm here, dude. I got a short period of time left on this earth. I want to change things. If there's bigwig, that's why I'm doing this podcast. I want the right people to hear this. I'm not talking I'm talking to the big dogs on the porch, bro. The big boys. I'm not a small player. I'm not. I will show you people shit that you ain't never seen before, I promise you. Put me in a facility. Let's watch it go.
Well, I would love to see you grow out in a big facility some of our gear and take it to fucking times and get everything that you want.
Yep, that's what I want. That's why I'm here, because of you guys.
Well, I would take up your offer. I would take up your offer, but unfortunately, it's just not going to happen, because for me, coming to America, because of this bullshit that's going on now, I'm never getting vaccinated for these fucking cunts. So it's just not going to happen. It's a shame, but that's what I've resigned myself to. I'm never going to America because of these fucking pricks and their fucking bullshit that they're putting all over the world and stopping us.
We're just going to get a fake vaccination card pretty soon, just like everybody else is going to get.
Well, yeah, if I can get there by some way other than that, but I will never fucking take this vaccination ever for these fucks. So I have to
Man,
find country.
I'm the same way. Hey, you all want to try fucking do it? Yeah, I'm here going. I ain't gonna happen. Yeah, they all might as well find something else to do because they're wasting their time.
No, man, I would be up for it if I could travel to America, and I would come fucking tomorrow, but I can't. That's what I'm saying to you, bro. But if we can work it out in another country that's got legal, places you can work legally in a different country where I can travel, then 1,000,000%. And as I say, if it wasn't for the state of the fucking world today, I would come to America, but I'm not going to get fucking jabbed up for this experimental
You,
fucking bullshit.
Ozmo, are you, or Dan, are you in America? I just I didn't catch that.
Yes, I'm in Missouri.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, nice. All right. You know, so that sounds like an awesome opportunity. I have a feeling,
You can certainly work with my genetics and we could do something, though. But as for me physically coming to America, it's just not looking possible in the short term, at least.
Yeah, you never know. That could change. We'll just have to see how.
There's
I'm
always ways.
here.
There's always ways. I'm sure. I've always said there's always ways. I never let any fucking thing stop me doing anything ever. If people knew all my full story, I don't give a fuck. But
we can
yeah, when it comes to the jab,
Dan, I mean, even if let's just say Blue Sky can't make it here, that's okay. We got other ways of supporting you in different ways. We can feed you genetics. We can, do whatever it is to help with your mission. We appreciate you being on the podcast. I'm just curious, what did you hear, that about us, or what? Because you've heard other podcasts, you've heard other breeders. Why us?
Old school right way. That's I mean that if you're gonna I showed you. Look at how they're growing. It ain't nothing done right now. There ain't nothing. You put me in a facility, let me show people how it's done. Let me freaking shine. Untether me. I've been chained my whole life as far as a grower. I have not been able to do what I've been bred to do. This shit's in my genetics, dude. I am born and bred to do this. That's been my whole life and nothing less than 1,000% my whole life. I mean, yeah, that's me. And I have not met anybody like me. I don't know if there is anybody out there like me, or if there has been anybody out there like me, or if I don't know. Me as a kid.
So have you ever had your stuff tested or anything? I mean, your methods, do they result in higher production outputs, higher yields? What about anything else? Does it have any other benefits to the plant other than just great production?
All right, here's the benefits of me growing. Here's what I do as a grower. All right, I get somebody's genetics, and they're all, it's testing 28%, and this is this is what it is. All right, when I grow it and I tested it 36%.
Okay.
So it does enhance potentially the terpenes and the other.
Well, when you give that plant everything it wants in the perfect condition, when there's no restrictions,
it just raises everything in the plant.
I tell you, I am very keen to see my genetics fucking being grown by you, Dan, because they have got insane vigor as it is. So to see it in your system as well, I think the results are going to be even doubly impressive.
Me too.
And that goes with the size of buds. I'll take your genetics. I'll take whatever the genetics I'm getting out, and I see how they're grown. When I grow it, the buds are 3 times the size. I get the weight. You guys, all right. People are like, this is what I'll get out of a tent with this genetics. I'll get 3 to 4 times that every time.
What are you normally? I mean, now getting on one light, are you getting 2 pounds, 3 pounds? Is it based on genetics, or is it based on just the overall environment that you're,
Well, yes, genetics has, a lot to play with, because I got the sativa, the indica, the dominus. Of course, indica is more short, bushy, thicker. All that does play in it. But the unrestricted growth just gives it the option to do what it does best. I mean, just like growing outside. Okay, when you grow outside, all right, you throw your plant outside. The buds get as big as your arm. The plants get freaking 10 foot tall. They get freaking 10 foot round. Okay. All right. When you grow inside, if you do not have that same growth inside, then you're not doing it right.
Now
Your room's not
that's interesting.
that your room is not set up right. That is grow room setup 101. If your shit does not grow equal to outside, set your room up better.
Now that is a whole nother world of questions for me. How? One, hydroponics, got it. Check. Don't know what your nutrient line is. Don't know how you're feeding yet. Don't know any of that system. But I'm also curious so much about when you said, what's the best light, LED? Are you finding, the LED is as powerful as the HPS or anything else that you've used?
Great question, bro. And I'll do it right here. I've done all the tests. All right, me coming. The last I grow was HPSs. All right, I come back on the scene. 8 years later, LEDs. I go out. I do research. I'm not gonna just go out. Yeah, I buy the best of the best. Okay. All right. Right now in that tent that you're looking at, I have 8 300-watt lights in there. That was the first batch of lights I bought. Okay, those are nice lights. They're not cheap whatsoever. And that's that tent right there. Okay, I have the exact same tent, a 4x8 tent, the exact same equipment, the exact same everything. The only thing different is those big 5-foot by 5-foot commercial Samsung 301B lights, whatever. I took 3 of those and put in a 4x8 tent. All right, and now it's double the light of what you're looking at right there in that tent. Double. Okay, and the difference I got was a foot of growth throughout the whole grow. Now you look at that grow in that tent and add a foot throughout the whole thing, and that's what my other tent looked like. In the same 2 weeks with the same everything.
So forgive me, I lost you on what room had what lights. So
okay. I have, I don't know, 6 4x8 light tents. I have all kinds of tents. What I did is I climate changed I got a 4-car garage. I climate changed, and then I just throw tents everywhere and go. I got one tent that you're looking at there, the pictures. They're 8 300-watt LEDs. Okay, I have another tent, a 4x8 tent that has the 5-foot coverage, the big commercial Samsung 301B freaking LED lights, the big boys, what the freaking big commercial shit does. Yeah. I put 3 of those in a 4x8 tent. I doubled the freaking light output of what you're looking at in that tent. Doubled it. And what I got difference was a foot of growth difference, bigger everywhere, all across the whole board, foot of growth in the same 2 weeks difference between that light change.
Have you had a chance yet to look and see if, because I have a couple different systems. I have an HPS room and I have an LED room, and my HPS spectrum is way different than, it's more red and orange light than my LED. My LED is full spectrum, but it's white light full spectrum, and it has red in it, but it doesn't have the kind of red that comes from an HPS. So I'm curious if you've ever blended the two, because I noticed in both rooms they have benefits. In my LED, I'm getting thick. I mean, I'm talking dense weed, like rock thick, dense, big colas, But in my other garden, in my HPS garden, I'm noticing the frost factor is a little bit higher. So I'm wondering if there's, and it just looks different, the spectrum, everything's the same. The grow is the same, the nutrients is the same, the humidity is the same, the heat the same, the CO2 is the same, everything is the same except for the lights. And I noticed that there is a huge looking difference between the two, and I'm finding that there's more frost factor in a HPS versus an LED. However, there are, so I don't know if it has to do with the red light, or, I do notice that they don't stretch as much because of the white full spectrum. All the plants that stretch a lot in those red light areas or the HPS, they're stretching, a foot, sometimes a foot and a half, 2 feet. if it's a sativa or something. Well, in the LED garden, that doesn't do that. Not the same level. So have you had a chance to do any blending of lights yet? I'm just curious because it sounds like you got the hydroponics part totally like that. You own that. And the variation could be the lights now, and the spectrums. I'm just curious what your opinion is on spectrum.
Well, what I've been doing and running so far, I wouldn't use HPS. The LED lights that I have now with the Samsung LEDs, and that to me, compared to the other LEDs that I have, the new ones I just got in that last run I did, are the closest to HPSs that I've ever seen. The spectrum, the oranges, that is, I mean, pretty much dead on.
Really?
So
Interesting.
yes,
Interesting.
yeah.
So you have
I'm
giving you,
very happy with those lights, and I will switch out the tent that I have. That's, but yeah, I will switch out those lights to what I have now. Bill.
very interesting. I'm just going
I,
through some testing myself on
and
different.
see the thing I like about these new LEDs. This is my opinion. This is the closest I've been with those new LEDs and throwing as much intensity in there as I have with the, and doing what I do best. That this is the closest I've mimicked in my lifetime to equal growth as to being outside.
And that honestly is the goal. See, a lot of
Yep,
people,
that's the exact goal.
I, I see somehow outdoor, like you said, the unrestricted. Now it does have soil, so I can only imagine the sun, the environment, the air quality. I've always got like a little bit paranoid when because I'm dealing with a closed air system, and I guess I'm going through growth areas on my growing skills, and I wanted to create the perfect environment. So I just get the humidity right, I got the heat right, got all those, my VPD right, I got everything dialed in, but I still wasn't experiencing what I thought I should, what was going on outside. And then I was like, the only fucking thing that's restricting at this point is my soil. So that must be it. So now that you said this, you've given me an interesting clue to what my next move is going to be. And I cannot wait to go hydroponic and true hydroponic, and then move from there to see if that was the missing link to having weed. Because my weed's phenomenal. I mean, my system's epic. My weed's crazy. The genetics are by far some of the best I've ever seen in my life, but I still wasn't able to get it to look as powerful as the outdoor, as thick as the outdoor, as aggressive as the outdoor, as I don't know, girthy as the outdoor, as juicy as the outdoor. There was just something about the outdoor that was just the next level, and I fucking been trying to get there. Excuse my language, but I just haven't got there yet. Now, you just gave me a huge clue into what I think is my next move. Well, I know is my next move, and what may be my cure. So very cool. Thank you for that.
Well, that's what I'm here for. I see that guy that taught me. I would like to have that young guy, to find that young guy that was dedicated today as I was then, so I can show him every fucking thing I know. That's what I like.
Well, I have a feeling somebody's going to reach out to you, and
I hope so.
I have a feeling. I mean, listen, like attracts like. You put the energy out there, it'll come back to you. It's a yin and yang. It's the karma. It's the vibration. You know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, you put it out there. Now let's see it return to you. So let's see what happens, man. And if when things start moving for you and you get contacted, Blue Sky and myself would love to be your genetic supplier to really push these to the next levels and get them into high times under your name, not our names, under your name, and have you win a couple cups and get your stuff on the front page and do your thing for them. That would be, because I think if we entered it in our names, it would they're
I'm getting nowhere.
biased, especially with the blue sky vibrating right now on that. Yeah, so I get that. But you know what? Coming from you, our stuff can easily be entered into contests. Coming from other people and grown out at the highest level, it's going to be pretty. I mean, it's going to be hard to beat. Let's just say. I have a feeling you're going to be on the front page.
Dude, I would not be here, and I would not settle for anything less than that. To me, I've already had the first page of High Times. I should have already been interviewed 10 times. I should have already had that freaking decades ago. But I haven't. I haven't had that ability. I haven't had that chance. I haven't had to show anybody. I want to show everybody.
Well, let's bring it, man. That's pretty awesome stuff. I know we're about an hour and a half in right now. I don't want to stop the conversation because I'm having a freaking blast. But I have some just curious questions regarding just strains. Since I have an old timer on the line with us right now, can you just give us an idea of what you've touched in the past? What was your favorites? Do you remember the first Northern Lights and the first Burmese and those when you said you had the Sensi magazines and everything from just give us an idea of what you tested and tasted and I know that the White Widow, Emily, White Rhino is another version of White Widow essentially. Was some of the best.
What I have tasted, what I have grown, and what I have touched is all of it. Throughout the years, all of it, every bit, all of it. I've done all of it. There's not, dude, over and over and over and over again. I am so proficient at growing. I harvest every month and a half. A perpetual grow. I rotate. My stuff does not stop. There's not a 1 second freaking stop in my whole grow. It is consistent, non-stop production. And it's like clockwork. It's embedded in my brain so bad. I can completely start from scratch and not have nothing. And I can build a grow my shit in it and start and it be like I've not missed a lick from nothing. It just boom. I can walk into a facility and make that thing pop and do things that nobody ever's done from day one.
So Dan, can I just ask, I'm trying to sort of ascertain exactly what your aim is. You want to work with existing facilities to improve their current outcomes, yeah?
Well, no, all right. In the computer field, I was a bigwig. I was a big wig. Chauffeured limos, project manager, $300 million projects. I had worked for the government. I have DOD security clearance. I've done very, very high-end, very, very expensive big projects in the computer field. All right, I've learned a lot about business. I've learned a lot throughout the years. I'm college educated, master's degree, the whole spiel. I now have that. I want to take that and put that with my experience of growing, get in a facility, do genetics. I don't care if it's just a genetic facility. All right, then start doing production. I want marketing, branding, freaking distribution. I want it all. I want to change everything. I want to set standards. I want no more pollen chuckers. You won't be able to pollen chuck because you'll be smoking my shit. I want to change it all.
So you want your own facilities?
Oh yeah, I want all of it, dude. Yep.
Now, total side.
I will run anything that anybody could give me as far as the size of facilities or whatever. I will run and make that shit do things that nobody's ever seen.
Okay.
I'm talking designer quality cannabis to the extreme degree in a production environment the whole world can see.
What do you think of the kind of work that people like Jungle Boys do? Do you follow what they do? Do you think you could?
I have followed everybody. I've seen and did the research from the top dogs and all the players in between the people that they're saying this is the master growers in these facilities, they're only 28-year-old kids. So I've done all of it, and I can compete and be a fucking major player in that freaking scene from day one.
Okay. So have you got any ideas who you might want to work with?
You guys.
Oh, right.
So,
But we don't have facilities. This is what I'm trying to get.
well, let's do this.
No. I'm
Now,
talking
in terms of the facility, like how are you going to get your facility, get in there? I mean, you're not talking about buying your own. You're talking about working with somebody who's already got large facilities, and then you're going to go there and basically revamp it and improve it drastically. Yeah.
either somebody who has the facilities and aren't getting what they want, or like the current setups. If you got a current facility out there and you're doing things today, and I can walk in and double your production.
Well, listen, I
Why
know a
would you
couple
not?
of guys who follow both me and Old School who do have some facilities. So that's maybe where we could maybe help out, is put you in touch with those and see if they would be interested in seeing your methods in action. And
That is exactly what I want. I want somebody to let me freaking do it shit my way, that I don't have to because I don't have permits. I don't have none of that stuff. You got the shit. Let me put me in there. Let me showcase my stuff. That's all. That's it. Let me. I'm from Missouri. Let me show you. I'll show everybody. And you know what? Worst case scenario is I will look like an idiot and I won't do what I'm saying. But guess what? That won't happen. I promise you that will not happen. And then the things will change.
well,
It'll be forced.
people, it wouldn't be out of the question possibly for people to dedicate a section of their facility to seeing your methods, and then when you prove them, they can like go full hog with it.
Exactly.
I have a whole sidebar conversation regarding your technology skills. I wanted to ask you, because Blue Sky brought it up. Actually, I think Blue Sky or yourself brought it up, but you mentioned, or at least I heard something. I don't know why I heard this or how I heard this, but that you might be interested in helping us build a better IG, a better system for cannabis community. Because what's happening right now is we got CANNABIS, which is good, but it's not great, and then we have Instagram, which is great, but it's not good.
It's not safe.
It's not safe. It sucks.
It's full of jealous little snitches. You can get your account shut down all the time.
And
Well, now this is what I can offer to the community with that. I'm a computer guru. I've set up websites for companies. That's what I've done my whole life, dude. I built the internet. I started in the computer industry when there was no internet. www wasn't existed. I was there and built the internet. That was my. Okay, so that's my career. And I was so damn good at it. I retired at 38. So I shouldn't have to say anymore. I worked for the biggest computer company in the world, and they paid me very well to do it.
Awesome.
So,
well, that's what I'm super interested in getting this to creating a stable environment for growth, just like no restrictions, just like our grow, but in a stable platform where we can truly have all the flexibility and all the cool conveniences of the modern day IG, the Instagram, where we could flip this, flip that, point that, forward this, and have it all in the, in the right places, so it's not awkward and it doesn't feel weird when you have to press this button 3 times just to get back to where you were. It flows correctly. It goes correctly. If we could find a true Instagram that was cannabis related and it had that same flow that we're all kind of used to and enjoying, even with, even bringing on, it could even not just have to be cannabis only. It could be exactly like Instagram, except now we're in control of the rules. So,
yeah.
We can have all kinds of fancy pictures, the girls, all the stuff, all the cool, weird, shocking pictures that everybody loves it, and the fun factor of all that. It's like watching TV sometimes. We love all that, but we want more control. We want to not be so restricted. Now, we don't want a bunch of yahoos coming and selling their guns and crack online, so there's got to be some kind of ordinance, but we don't want it to be a free flow fuck fest either. But we want it to be.
You just wanted a place where your account is not going to get lost, as I said, to complete and utter fucking arseholes.
Like that. Yeah, if you want to block somebody, block somebody. You don't like somebody, the same thing. But just you don't get deleted.
There are really nice current social platforms that are open source, which means the code's given freely. That's the open source project in the computer industry. And all you'd have to do is just set the website up, and they have this stuff. Yeah, I can do exactly what you're asking. Exactly. I can give you Instagram, Facebook in a platform on a server that is strictly cannabis related, if that is what the community would want.
The community wants it, bro.
I can make that happen in less than probably 4 days.
You know what? You would change the whole industry.
You'd be a hero straight away.
By that alone, you don't even have to grow it. That itself would be like the whole community would look up to, like, who is this internet building person that just changed all our lives?
Seriously? Really? You guys are telling me that, and the people out there were actually.
Bro, do you know how many accounts I've lost? I've lost 5-6 accounts to fucking little shitheads who can't, just jealous little fucks reporting that snitch button all the time. We just want a platform like Instagram, but where those little fucking rats can't do that, because I've had accounts 5,000, 6,000, nearly 8,000, loads of times, and now, like my most recent one, just went down day before yesterday due to snitches, jealous little bitches that fucking, hate the fact that I'm bringing skunk back and they've not got it. So jealous little kids in their mummy's basements can just take down all your work. So if you had a platform where that doesn't happen, and it happens to a lot of people, not just even me, but lots of people losing their accounts. People with accounts much larger than mine even lose them. So if we had a place where that could not happen, that would be amazing. I've lost so much content. You wouldn't believe how much content I've lost, like pictures and stuff that have gone down on accounts that I didn't have backed up or whatever. So,
all
yeah.
right, well, I'll, just for you two, just for you guys, I'll make that happen by next week, and you guys.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
It would be, we would all be millionaires, and you probably already are a millionaire. I'm getting really damn close, and I feel like what.
Well, I'm nowhere fucking near.
Who really cares about the money when you have it, right? It's not about money anymore. But yes, I get it. When you don't have it, it gets really important, or when you're trying to build something. But man, the love that it would spread, the vibration, the world. I mean, Instagram would freaking shut down, I think, if all the cannabis community literally just said, we're out of here. We found a new place to live. They would not know what to do with themselves. They think that we're not that big and powerful, and they can manipulate and control and dictate. But once they lose us, they'll know how powerful we were and how much we gave to this environment. So,
well, I will make that happen. I'll give you guys the platform. If the community wants it, they'll use it, and I would be honored. That to me is second nature, and that's no problem.
I would love to be able to say in my history and my story, one of the guys that actually built the internet was the guy who built our social media platform for this thing. 20 years from now, when I talk about this and this whole thing is all different and we're all on this new platform and everybody's loving it, 20 years from now, I'm going to be able to read back. I remember this guy, he's still around. He's an old timer now, he's just, but he's the guy.
What you're doing is a bit like me. You've burst out of nowhere with something very cool,
It would be something historic. It would be something historic. Not only that, but to bring somebody like you back into the industry, that's like bringing dinosaurs back, where in a sense, to life. Like, whoa, we got a real OG coming, a real person who knows what the hell he's doing, who has been around, who's been growing since he was 16 and he's 65, and nobody does that. Who does that? Who even has that experience today? Who? Probably nobody. Probably nobody alive. I mean, or very like 3 people alive have been growing indoors since they were 16 and are 65 or 60 something years old now. That shit doesn't happen.
No,
So
exactly.
as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty fucking blessed to be on this conversation right now. I feel like this is the start of something interesting. So let's
Yeah, I'm super glad that you fucking joined us, bro. So I wasn't even aware that you was only joined 2 weeks ago, because means you don't really know anything about us. So yeah, it's cool that you came to us. I'm really pleased about that. I thought maybe you've been following a while, and
what I'm kind of super happy about is that you actually found us within 2 weeks.
yeah.
You know,
And I haven't even ran your guys' gear. I haven't done.
Have you listened to our podcast? Do you know all about our background? Do you know about the fire and stuff that I was in and all of that?
I know all the research that I could do. What's on the internet? I did my research. That's what I'm supposed to do.
Okay, so you've listened to our Real Cannabis Talk and all the episodes. That's cool.
Oh yeah. I've listened to all the episodes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
oh gosh, man, I don't know if there's anything else to cover. I think we just about covered the whole damn thing, and I'm so freaking out. I just want to have a cup of coffee and smoke a joint right now. I'm so happy. you know?
Well, I'll just say, if any of our listeners who've got facilities or anybody who's got any contacts with large facilities can get in contact with either, we'll put Dan's Instagram and any other contact details he wants to give us in the description box. You could also contact either OldSchoolChornic or myself and our emails, and we'll pass on any messages to Dan. But well, look, I would seriously suggest anyone who hasn't, get on his Instagram, look at those pictures. I don't give a fuck. That growth rate is astonishing. Don't matter who you are and what you've seen before. That is fucking amazing in 2 weeks. And yeah, I'd like to see people get in touch with you and you get into their facilities and show them how they can improve things. And I'd love you to work with our genetics too, because you know, no doubt then, like my genetics span back to the 60s, and you'll probably fucking love them. So yeah, I'm very keen to get you some of my seeds. OldSchoolChornic can do the same, and yeah, I think this is a start of something good.
All right. You there, Dan?
Well, maybe he's dropped out, but yeah, I'll just reiterate that. If people can check out
I'm not hearing it.
Dan's Instagram, it's Ozmo Labs. He's only got a few posts on there, but they're the posts showing the difference from that small clone and 2 weeks after it's been put in the system. It's insane growth.
I mean,
rate.
I have a bunch of more pictures. This is all I can do, and everybody's all, well, you're just a tent guy. Oh, just a tent. Well, I want to show what
Everything can scale up.
I think his internet it's either my internet or his internet. You there, Dan?
You guys.
I can hear you both, but Dan's a little intermittent.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you now, brother.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. All right. We're good.
So
okay. So anything else you want to say, Dan?
No, it's just awesome freaking hanging with you guys, and actually for the first time in my life to actually talk to somebody about growing. That to me is just that's a first and amazing.
wow, man. Well,
we're definitely honoured to have you. I reckon probably once you get off air, you'll be like, man, I could have spent another 2 hours telling another 50 different stories. So would you like to come back on again and tell us more of your stories and more of your histories and experiences? Because I'm sure you've got some cool stories to tell.
Oh yeah, I got a real good story, because that gentleman's also the same one who introduced me to psychedelics, and man, we could be here all day.
Excellent. Well, we'll definitely have to do it again then, Dan.
Yeah,
not a problem. And you guys feel free. I'll leave you guys with my phone number and everything. Feel free to call, question anything, man. I'm here for you. Just don't hesitate. Just call me.
Thank you, man. Well, send us your address too, so we can get some beans out to you.
Oh, that would be freaking awesome, dude. Let me put some good stuff in my tents.
Oh man. You will
Yeah,
have
for
one
sure.
of
I
the
can't
best
wait
in
to
the
see it.
world.
It's going to explode.
So with that said, guys, this was some of the most interesting conversation that we've had on Real Cannabis Talk. I'm super happy to be here with you guys. I'm super happy that it went this way, and I'm excited to see what happens from here. We've been on for a little while, so we're probably going to close out right now. I just want to mention before we close out, please visit Ozmo or Dan, and also come back and visit us, Blue Sky and Old School Chronic as well. We both have websites up, and we both have our own Instagrams and several Instagrams. And we have Blue Sky has a new forum that he wants you to join for the skunk family. I would love
And for everybody, really, anybody who likes old school varieties, landrace varieties, real cannabis, not really keen on autoflowers having much presence there. Maybe one or two people, but yeah, really about the old school skunks, hazes, heirlooms, land races, and not for the cookies, do-si-dos, and gelatos. So that's skunkfam.com/community.
and go and join him there. Also, can you tell us your website?
Yep, that's www.roadkillskunks.com. It should be skunk. I own them both, but I have to update a few things. And the web designer from the original website has fucking disappeared, so it's a bit difficult. So it's roadkillskunks.com. It's quite a nice website. And the forum is skunkfam.com/community. And my Instagram is BlueSkiesvienna.
And if you're looking for anything from me with Old School Chronic, check me out at OldSchoolChronic_live. That is my Instagram. You can also find me on my website, which is oldschoolchronic.com. And I don't have a forum. I join Blue Skies forum. So why don't we all kind of just enjoy the heck of our day. I know that you're going to love listening to this. I'm just so impressed right now with Ozmo, with Dan. I'm just super happy with this whole conversation. Super happy about the forum or the new IG that potentially could be coming our way. A new growing opportunities, new opportunities to potentially even get our stuff in High Times cannabis cups and so forth. So it's just, with all that said, guys, enjoy your beautiful day. And thank you for joining us for some real cannabis talk. Have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you next time on our new episodes.